5 mistakes people make when searching for happiness. Yet we live in an age where everything pulls us outward. Notifications, expectations, comparisons, distractions, and desires that multiply like shadows at sunset. We chase fulfillment the way a thirsty traveler chases a mirage, never realizing that the oasis we seek has always been within us. In the stillness of dawn, before the first thought rises and before the world begins its hurried breathing, there is a quiet place inside you that has always been untouched. A place older than your fears, deeper than your doubts, and softer than your pain. It is the space where the Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, not as a god, not as a legend, but as a human being who dared to look directly into the heart of suffering and did not turn away. In that sacred silence, he discovered a truth that remains unchanged through centuries, through civilizations, through the rise and fall of countless worlds. Peace does not come from the outside. It is born within. The Buddha's teaching is not a religion of blind belief. It is a path of seeing, a path of knowing. It is an invitation to return home to the mind. Not the restless mind, not the burdened mind, but the mind that is capable of waking up. Today, we begin a journey through 10 truths of inner peace. Truths you were never told. Truths that lie beneath the noise of modern life. Truths that can transform the way you walk, breathe, think, and live. Inner peace is not an escape. It is not passivity. It is not pretending life is gentle when storms are raging. Inner peace is the courage to face life exactly as it is, without running, without clinging, and without fear. And it begins with the most important truth of all. Number 1, the mind is the source of peace and the source of suffering. The Buddha taught we become what we think, not as poetry, not as metaphor, but as a law, as real as gravity. The mind is the painter of your world. Every joy, every fear, every hope, every sorrow arises first as a movement within it. When the mind is untrained, it grasps at every desire and recoils from every discomfort. It becomes a battlefield of craving, resistance, and confusion. You suffer not because the world is cruel, but because the untrained mind clings, rejects, exaggerates, and invents. But when the mind becomes clear, steady, and aware, suffering loses its power. Anger arises, but it does not control you. Fear appears, but it does not define you. Thoughts come and go, but they no longer drag you into storms. Training the mind begins with observation. When you observe your thoughts as they arise, without fighting them and without feeding them, you crack open the first gate of liberation. You begin to see that thoughts are not you. They are clouds drifting across the sky of your awareness. Inner peace does not come from controlling the world. It comes from understanding the mind that perceives it. To master the mind is to become free. To ignore the mind is to remain trapped. And so, the first truth is both simple and profound. If you wish for peace, train the mind, because the mind you nurture becomes the world you inhabit. Number 2, belief shapes reality, but understanding sets you free. Belief is powerful. Entire kingdoms have risen from it. Wars have ignited because of it. Civilizations have been shaped and reshaped through the simple act of humans agreeing to place faith in a story. And in your own life, belief has quietly built the walls of your inner world, the walls that protect you, and the walls that imprison you. From childhood, you inherited beliefs like seeds carried by the wind. You are not enough. You must always win. You must never fail. You must fit in. You must be strong. You must not show weakness. Some of these seeds blossomed into confidence and hope. Others rooted themselves deep in your heart as doubt, fear, or self-judgment. And without realizing it, you began living inside the boundaries of these invisible truths, truths that were never yours to begin with. The Buddha did not ask anyone to believe blindly. He said, "Do not believe in something just because many believe it. Investigate. See for yourself. Belief may shape your reality, but only understanding can set you free." When you examine your beliefs, you begin to see which ones nourish you and which ones drain your life force, which ones open your heart and which ones close it, which ones help you grow and which ones keep you small. Inner peace is impossible when you carry beliefs that bind your mind in fear. But when you begin to understand, not from books, not from teachers, but from your own deep looking, you dissolve the illusions that have controlled your life for years. Understanding is like lighting a lamp in a dark room. The darkness does not fight back. It simply disappears. The illusions that once frightened you lose their meaning. The beliefs that once limited you lose their power to command you. You begin to ask, is this thought true? Is this belief mine? Who would I be without this story? And slowly, truth reveals itself, not as a doctrine, not as a dogma, but as a direct experience. With understanding comes freedom. With freedom comes peace. The second truth is this: belief shapes your world, but only understanding opens the gates of liberation. Walk with awareness, and let your beliefs be guided by wisdom, not fear. Number 3, clarity is born when illusion falls away. Most people do not suffer from a lack of intelligence, ability, or potential. They suffer from a lack of clarity. They move through life like travelers, walking through fog, able to see only a few steps ahead, guided not by insight, but by habit, impulse, and the momentum of yesterday's unresolved thoughts. The Buddha called this fog moha, delusion, the clouded vision that prevents us from seeing reality as it truly is. And delusion is subtle. It does not shout, it whispers. It distorts quietly. It rearranges your perception until you no longer recognize the difference between the story in your mind and the truth before your eyes. To live without clarity is to live in a dream. To awaken to clarity is to live in freedom. Clarity does not appear when life becomes easy. Clarity appears when illusion dissolves. And illusion dissolves when you develop the courage to look deeply, deeper than comfort, deeper than habit, deeper than the self you think you are. Illusion shows up in many forms. Thinking success guarantees happiness. Believing other people's opinions define your worth. Chasing pleasure as if it will silence emptiness. Resisting change as if permanence ever existed. Expecting the world to move in the direction of your preferences. Believing your thoughts are facts. When you look at these illusions with mindful awareness, they lose their power. You begin to see that everything you cling to is impermanent. Everything you resist is impermanent. Everything you fear is impermanent. And once this truth settles into your heart, clarity rises like the sun after a long night. Clarity is not the absence of struggle. It is the understanding of struggle. It is seeing the nature of things without distortion, without projection, without the noise of fear and craving. With clarity, decisions become simpler. Not easier, simpler. Because you are no longer choosing from confusion but from truth. You stop fighting battles that are not yours. You stop chasing paths that do not align with your heart. You stop clinging to people, roles, and expectations that were never meant to be yours. Clarity reveals that peace is not somewhere in the future. It is what remains when the fog of illusion lifts. Clarity shows you where to step, when to be still, and which burdens you no longer need to carry. Clarity is the voice inside that whispers, let go, see clearly, walk in truth. And so the third truth is this: clarity is not something you gain. It is something that appears when illusion falls away. To awaken clarity is to awaken peace itself. Number 4, discipline and action are the true guardians of inner peace. Inner peace is often imagined as something soft, a gentle feeling, a calm space, a quiet refuge from the storms of the world. But in the Buddha's teachings, peace is not fragile. Peace is not passive. Peace is not the silence of inaction. True peace is a strength, a discipline, a commitment, a way of living that requires effort, intention, and unwavering presence. The Buddha spoke often of right effort, not as harsh self-force, but as the mindful energy that protects the heart from falling back into old patterns of suffering. Without discipline, the mind becomes scattered. Without action, wisdom remains only theory. Without consistent practice, inner peace dissolves the moment life becomes difficult. Many people wait for the right moment to change their lives. They wait for motivation, for clarity, for someone to push them, for their circumstances to magically align. But the truth is simple. Peace belongs to those who practice. Freedom belongs to those who walk the path. Discipline is not punishment. It is the highest form of compassion you can offer yourself. It is the promise you make to your own mind. I will not abandon you to chaos. I will train you to see clearly. When you meditate even when you don't feel like it. When you pause to breathe instead of reacting. When you speak with kindness even when anger rises. When you choose awareness over habit. You are cultivating the soil where peace can grow. You are strengthening the inner muscles that allow you to remain steady even when the world shakes. Action transforms intention into reality. You can understand impermanence and still cling. You can know the truth of suffering and still run from discomfort. You can admire the Buddha's teachings and never taste liberation. Understanding without action is like a lamp with no flame. Action without understanding is like a flame with no lamp. But when understanding and action meet, transformation becomes inevitable. A disciplined mind is not rigid, it is free. A disciplined life is not restricted, it is spacious. Because discipline is not about forcing yourself into limits, it is about freeing yourself from the limits created by fear, distraction, and craving. Right action does not always feel good in the moment, but it leaves behind a trail of peace. Wrong action may feel pleasant in the moment, but it leaves behind a trail of suffering. Inner peace is the result of thousands of small, conscious choices. The choice to let go, the choice to stay present, the choice to forgive, the choice to breathe first and speak later, the choice to return to the practice when you drift away. Nothing in nature remains stable without structure. Not a tree, not a river, not a mountain, not a light. And nothing in the mind remains peaceful without practice. The fourth truth is this: inner peace is protected by discipline and brought to life through action. A peaceful mind is not given. It is built moment by moment, choice by choice. Number 5. Gratitude, adaptability, and resilience form the unshakable heart. There is a kind of strength that does not shout, a kind of courage that does not roar, a kind of power that does not come from wealth, status, or victory, but from the heart that remains open even when life closes in. This strength is built from 3 sacred qualities the Buddha taught again and again: gratitude, adaptability, resilience. Together they form the unshakable heart, a heart that is steady, flexible, and deeply alive. Gratitude. The art of seeing what is already here. Gratitude is not merely saying thank you. It is learning to see clearly, seeing the breaths you did not earn, the body that carries you, the moments of kindness that appear without warning, the lessons hidden in your struggles. Most people search endlessly for what is missing, never realizing that peace comes from honoring what is already present. The Buddha said that when the mind practices appreciation, it becomes light, spacious, and joyful. Gratitude softens the heart, dissolves envy, and cuts through the illusion of scarcity. It reminds you that in each moment, something is supporting you. The earth beneath your feet, the air entering your lungs, the awareness witnessing your world. Adaptability. Flowing instead of breaking. Life does not move in straight lines. It bends, shifts, changes direction, and challenges your expectations. If you resist, you suffer. If you cling, you suffer. If you demand that life follow your map instead of following life's unfolding, you suffer. Adaptability is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the understanding that everything passes, everything transforms, and everything must be met with fresh eyes. To adapt is to allow life to breathe. It is to move with reality instead of fighting it. It is to hold your dreams gently, not tightly, to let them evolve as you evolve. Resilience, the strength to rise again. Resilience is the quiet promise you make to yourself. No matter how many times I fall, I will rise again. The Buddha did not teach a life free of difficulty. He taught the path to remain free within difficulty. Resilience is not enduring pain without feeling. It is feeling deeply without drowning. It is falling without despairing. It is trusting that no storm lasts forever, and that the mind trained in wisdom can find peace even in the rain. When gratitude opens the heart, adaptability softens the mind, and resilience strengthens the spirit. A new kind of peace arises, a peace that cannot be stolen, a peace that cannot be shaken, a peace rooted in understanding, not circumstance. This is the unshakable heart, the final truth. Conclusion. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, let these truths settle into you, like seeds waiting for the right season to bloom. Inner peace is not an escape from the world. It is the art of moving through the world with clarity, compassion, and courage. It is the understanding that suffering arises and passes, joy arises and passes, and you, the one who sees, remain spacious, steady, and free. You carry within you a mind capable of awakening, a heart capable of deep love, and a spirit capable of rising above even the darkest night. These truths were not meant to impress you. They were meant to empower you. You are not powerless. You are not broken. You are not lost. Inside you is the same potential that awakened beneath the Bodhi tree. Inside you is the same peace the Buddha discovered, not in heaven, not in miracles, but in the human heart that dares to see clearly. Walk gently, walk bravely, walk awake, and may inner peace become the path beneath your feet, the breath within your chest, and the light that guides your every step. The journey is yours. The peace is within you.